Yeah, man, conflicts in the workplace. I just always go back to my saying, it's not personal, it's just professional. So first look inward, figure out if this is a you problem or a them problem. And that's something I talk about a lot. Is this a you problem? Is this something that you can control and that you can fix? For example, a you problem. Did she really say that in a mean way? Or did he really say that in a mean way? Or did they touch on something that you're insecure about? And now you're telling a story that they meant to offend you by saying that. Like, that's kind of a you problem. So, for example, if someone says something to me and I get really defensive, I'm like, wait, this is a me problem. Okay, they didn't mean that to offend me. I just got offended. There's a separation there. Or there's a them problem. And a them problem is when somebody else is doing something and it's completely out of your control, but they're putting that on you. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, if your coworker is like, I got to go to my kid's soccer game, I can't complete all this work. And you're like, I can help you out here, but I actually can't change the fact that like you're not so great at scheduling and time management, and you're not great at prioritizing. So that's actually a them problem. So you got to figure out, is it a you problem or a them problem? And then you can go from there. If it's a you problem, do the work, do what you can do what's in your control. And if it's a them problem, have a conversation.
Or if it's a point in time versus a pattern, right? Because sometimes I hear this a lot in my practice. It's like, well, this person is writing on me. They're like, they talk about me. They're constantly belittling me. Well, that's a pattern. That's problematic.
Yes.
But then there's, another person who on a bad day, may have said something that wasn't so nice to you. And then all of a sudden you're like, that's a narcissist. It's like, narcissism is a pattern, right?
Yes.
Like toxic personalities, that's a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
But people have moments of weakness. They have, people have bad days. It doesn't make them a bad person. We see this a lot with women, like especially famous, like notable figures where they make one mistake and it's like, oh my gosh, that person's an awful person. How could they be this and that? This should be taken away from them. And it's like, listen, people have bad days, people make mistakes. So I think a point in time versus a pattern is very different. A you problem versus a them problem, very different. So really think about it. It's not all or nothing. Yeah. There's a lot of gray and just be thoughtful about that because you're going to be working with this person.
Exactly. And you know what? I always tell people you're at work to do work. You're not there to like fix people's personal problems. So if you're around somebody, because you will face a lot of people throughout your career, no matter what industry you're in, that are jerks.